What's going on, YouTube and wrestling fans, man? I am here on January 5th, 2010, the Tuesday the day right after the new Monday Night Wars have kicked off. Now, in saying that, I don't know. I have not heard any announcement that TNA is officially switching to Monday nights, but they did do it last night, and they made no mistakes about it. They declared that they were going after WWE ever since Hulk Hogan signed with TNA and Eric Bischoff came along and all that. All I gotta say is I flipped back and forth between the two shows. Last night, Raw with Bret the Hitman Hart as the special guest host, and TNA's 3 hour Impact with the debut of Hulk Hogan. And I will tell you this: the WWE show had nothing that caught my attention other than having at the very beginning Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in the same ring, burying the hatchet, giving each other a hug. That was awesome. Other than that, I saw nothing in the Raw show out of the ordinary. Nothing but their same weak programming. Nothing but DX tagging along with Hornswoggle and Jericho and Big Show being the usual ass clowns that they are. Nothing much, man. Nothing else. Nothing else caught my eye. Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, that was okay. We'd seen that before. Whatever. TNA show was epic. Okay, epic. It took me back, for those 3 hours to when we used to have WCW Monday Nitro that was 3 hours long, and it was live and it was unpredictable. It was live, man. It was awesome, man. So I'm just gonna go run down. First of all, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. No, hold on. I'm sorry. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 13 major returns or debuts in the TNA roster on this one night alone. Okay, I'm gonna just run down the list of them and then I'll tell you when they came out. First of all, first and foremost, the most obvious: Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff. Get this: Ric Flair, Jeff Hardy, Shannon Moore, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, the Nasty Boys, Val Venus, Orlando Jordan, Jeff Jarrett, Sting, and Bubba the Love Sponge, who's a popular radio host on satellite radio. Okay, all those people made their debut slash returns last night. Okay, which kept the show live. It kept it crazy. You didn't know who was gonna show up next, who was gonna do what. It was awesome. Now let me just go. I'm going off my memory, so I may miss something here and there, but I'll try to remember as much. I mean, it was 3 hours, man, so you can imagine. But all right, the night opened up with the Steel Asylum X Division match, and where you had 8 X Division combatants going at it, including Homicide and Kiyoshi, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Suicide, the X Division champion Amazing Red. Man, I'm missing more than 2 other ones there, but whatever. That's all I can remember. They went at it, man. The match was amazing. It was a spot fest at times, man. You had a bunch of off the steel cage moves. Everybody doing their finishers. The climax of the match came when Homicide, he whipped out a metal baton, a nightstick, one of those collapsible nightsticks, whooped it out, and Kiyoshi, his World Elite Tag Team member, was holding Amazing Red, the X Division champion, and he just laid him out with it. Then he went buck wild and laid out everybody, including his partner from World Elite, Kiyoshi, so Homicide snapped, taking out everybody. In the process, the referees called the match a no contest, which I think that really hurt the show because the match was awesome. It was a great way to open the show. You didn't have to have it end up as a no contest. Having it end up as a no contest, unless it's between 2 combatants in a really great, long, exciting match, which this was not. This was a multi-man match, and it was great and it was exciting, but it wasn't that long. So unless you have that situation, making it a no contest is basically a big middle finger to all the fans saying what you just saw doesn't matter. Okay, so the fans got so mad they started chanting, "This is bull." All right, I don't go there, but you know what I'm saying. You know what they were chanting. All right, and then Homicide, after he lays everybody out, he's climbing out the cage, climbing out the asylum. He gets to the top. He's having trouble getting out, having so much trouble that it gives everybody in the ring time to recover. Then they all start climbing after Homicide, and they beat the snot out of Homicide. Homicide ends up on the outside of the ring, and then all of a sudden you hear this music hit, and nobody knows who this music is. All of a sudden the camera catches in the audience Jeff Hardy coming through the crowd. The Jeff Hardy comes down to the ring, beats the crap out of Homicide, bashes him right in the face with a steel chair, gives him the twist of fate right on the ramp, climbs the asylum, sits down on top of the asylum like, yeah, I'm the new boss of the X division. Everybody went crazy. That was awesome. But like I said, they did not have to make it a no contest to have that happen. You could have had Homicide get the dirty win, get outside the ring, and then have Jeff Hardy attack him. Either way, it was still cool. So that was a good opening to the show, aside from the no contest. Um, then you had Tara and ODB for the women's knockout title, and you know, being the night that they're going head to head with the WWE, that even though Tara, a former WWE diva, is the champion, you know they're gonna have their TNA original girl go over, and so unfortunately ODB won. She won her title back, and then Tara just gave her a vicious widow's peak right after the match, put the spider on her, and was holding up the belt even though she lost it. That was whatever match, you know. It was a good women's match, you know. I'm not gonna lie. Then you had a limousine up here. You had a limousine up here in the back of the Impact Zone. White limo. Everybody thought it was Hogan when the door opened. Get this. The Nature Boy Ric Flair stepped out of the limousine. All right. Nobody. I had not heard any rumors or speculation that this man would be involved. Ric Flair shows up in the Impact Zone. Wrestlers lined up. Everybody from Beer Money to Eric Young. Crew from the backstage area. Everybody just shaking his hand as he walks into the building. After the whole thing, let me backtrack a little bit. After the whole thing with Jeff Hardy, when they came back from commercial break, he was walking back to the backstage area and he met up with Shannon Moore. So you saw Shannon Moore there, a former TNA talent and a great wrestler. You know, they gave each other a hug and they walked off. After that, later on in the night, you had Scott Hall and X-Pac, or Six, or Sean Waltman, whatever you want to call them. Two of the former original NWO members show up backstage. Security doesn't want to let them in. They get rough with the security. They start choking the security, and then, you know, the camera leaves that. So you see Scott Hall and Sean Waltman show up. Later on in the night, the Nasty Boys showed up trying to get in the building, and they ended up getting in the building and trashing Team 3D's locker room, who is in Japan. So that's gonna be a big feud when they get back. The beautiful people, Velvet Sky and Lacey Von Erich, oh my god, they decided they're gonna play strip poker throughout the night to get ratings. As they're playing, the second time we see them playing, they get interrupted by Val Venus, who we haven't seen in forever, coming out in the towel, whatever. It was a perfect match. Putting Val Venus with the beautiful people, an ex-porn star with 3 porn star lookalikes, is perfect, man. And it just flowed. It was great. You had a match between Desmond Wolfe and the Pope, D'Angelo Dinero, which was 2 of the best acquisitions in 2009 for TNA, now facing off in 2010 for the first time. And it was a good match, a little short, but it was a very good back and forth match where D'Angelo Dinero picks up the win. But right before the match, D'Angelo Dinero was getting interviewed by Christy Hemme, and none other than Orlando Jordan interrupts the interview. So here's another ex-WWE star coming over, and you can tell that they're setting up a feud between Orlando Jordan and Pope D'Angelo Dinero, which I think will be good. I think will be good. They're both very good wrestlers. I liked Orlando Jordan's wrestling ability in the WWE. Did not like the way his character was portrayed or used. But that was a really good match. D'Angelo Dinero got the win. Desmond Wolfe was complaining it was a fast count, so you know it's gonna set up another feud between those two. I'm running out of time on this video. Still got a lot more to talk about, so I'm gonna do a part 2. You know, hopefully YouTube will post these videos with no problem. God bless y'all.